Welcome to the Game Haus Overwatch League recap. Let's continue Week 4 of Stage 3. The night started off right, with a fierce opening map on Volkskaya. Both teams had a great presence on their attack runs, gaining both of them 2 points apiece. The Spitfire had less time in their time bank and went first on their second attack, but only managed to take 1 extra point. The Gladiators took advantage of that fact and took 2 more points when it was their turn, giving them the first map. Map 2 was less of a close matchup between the two. The Gladiators steamrolled through Blizzard World and completed their map without looking backwards, whereas the Spitfire fared a much worse fate. The team from London were kept firmly in place, with Los Angeles not giving up a single point, giving them a convincing lead. The Spitfire took advantage of Map 3, the control map, as a turning point for them in the match. They needed to take 2 points at Ilios, and at first it seemed grim for London. The Gladiators took point A and looked set to clean up with point B. However, the Spitfire forced their way to taking both points B and C and gaining themselves another map for a shot at victory. Route 66 looked promising for the Spitfire, and after their defensive prowess against the Gladiators on their attack run, the promise seemed like it was going to be kept. The Gladiators only took 2 points in their attack, which meant the Spitfire had a good chance of forcing a map 5, and forced it they did by taking 3 points and pushing the match score 2-2. The final map of the match was on Oasis, and it was an exciting tiebreaker. The Gladiators took point A and the Spitfire took point B in turn. With point C determining the fate of the match, both teams fought hard for dominance. The Gladiators prevailed and took match 1. The second match of the night was between the San Francisco Shock and the New York Excelsior. The match began on Anubis and saw the Shock assert themselves early on. Through their attack run, they managed to take 2 points as opposed to New York's 1 and pulled ahead in the match. Numbani saw New York recover from having a loss that early on, and their defensive might was impressed upon the Shock, keeping them at only 1 point on their attack run. New York cleaned up with 2 points on their attack and tied up the game. Nepal saw some highly competitive control plays, and neither team was willing to let the other have the satisfaction of a 2-0 victory. Both teams took a point apiece, but New York started a 2-map win streak by taking point C. What looked like it was going to be a close match from the beginning turned out to be a slow start for New York that turned into a huge comeback. The Excelsior took Junkertown and prevented a map 5, winning the match 3 maps to 1. And last but not least, there was the Seoul Dynasty up against the Philadelphia Fusion. The match began with some great examples of defense on Anubis, as both teams kept the points low. The Dynasty had the greater strength, however, and forced the Fusion off of any points, as opposed to the single point Seoul managed to grab. Blizzard World was another demonstration of defensive power, as a similar score was generated, 1-0. This map, however, went in Philadelphia's favor, tying up the match 1-1. Nepal wasn't so evenly matched as the 2 maps preceding it. The Fusion showed what it truly meant to be in control with this map, and took both points A and B, not letting the Dynasty have any advantage. The Dynasty needed Route 66 to keep their slowly dying dreams of a match win alive. Both sides were yet again fiercely aggressive on their defensive plays, and a low-scoring map was generated yet again. Seoul succeeded in their goal, however, taking 1 point over Philadelphia 0 and pushing the game into a tiebreaker. With Oasis being a popular tiebreaker map, both teams seemed to be in both familiar and foreign territory. This was reflected with both taking and losing a point apiece, and leaving the results in the hands of point C. The Dynasty pulled out a triumphant win over the Fusion with their final map win, and thus, the night concluded. Thanks for watching our Overwatch League recap. Hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on the league, and don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Links are below. From our house to yours, keep it here with the Game Haus for all your sports and esports needs.